Hey guys, welcome back to Which Way to the Broom with your host, me, Jiminice. As for announcements, recently me and Co-Wedding have been discussing doing collabs, and we want to know what you guys want to hear and what you guys want to learn. So hit me up with ideas. If you got an idea of what you want to hear, or maybe you want to learn about some topic, or you want us to go a little bit in depth in it, hit me up, let me know, and we'll discuss it, and we'll see if we can do a video on it. As for today, I got an awesome episode in store for you guys. I went nuts with this. Just my brain jumped from one side to the next, and just it's crazy, and you're gonna love it. So let's just get into it. Episode 15, Glamors and Enchantments. So let's talk about this. So I mentioned that in a previous episode that I was going to actually talk about this. So this actually got really fairly long. As I said, I was jumping around. So I'm going to start with Glamors because it's a little bit shorter and maybe a little bit easier to explain. So I love it. Actually, I love this. So I love it whenever I see those like newbies or beginners post in groups asking if they could change their eye color or something, or casting some kind of spell to change their eye color. Because, you get the people on there who goes, oh no, absolutely not, that's impossible, this isn't The Craft movie, this is bullshit, like, it's not possible. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, dude, in magic anything literally is possible, what the fuck do you mean? And like, I hate how like people just shut it down, because I always go in there with my smart ass mouth. So, let's talk about like, how you can change your eye color using a glamour. So now, I want you guys to keep in mind that you're not physically going to be changing your eye color. Like, you cannot physically make it happen, but you can, how should I word this? You can change the perception of how people see your eye color. So now that we know that this isn't Hollywood eye color changing, it's subtle magic, like a subtle suggestion. So let me get into detail on this. So let's go back jump back to changing eye color. For now, those of you who do watch my shows and my demo videos and stuff, you can see my eye color that's blue or green, for example. I'm going to jump into an example. So you've seen my videos, you've seen my demo. My eye color, blue, green, whatever, hazel, whatever the fuck. If you're colorblind, it's whatever you think it is. Whatever. So, now let's say I casted a glamour and I wanted my eye color to be brown. So it's not going to physically change my eye color to be brown, but let me just explain. Okay, so let's say like you're looking back at this video and you're watching it, and we're talking about it, we're talking about the show, and talking about what's going on, and you note that my eye color is, what it actually is. But let's say like someone turned around and asked you, they were like, hey, what's her eye color? Then you might think like, oh yeah, they're brown, like they look brown. Like that's the point of a glamour, is the fact that you are changing the perception of someone else's reality. So a glamour basically really is like an influence. It's not physically changing something. So now then when it comes to glamours, you can cast glamours on other people. You can cast them on yourself, or objects, or buildings, places. It really just depends. I kind of group glamours and enchantments in the same way here, but for a glamour, I think a glamour is like, I think of Harry Potter. So you got, Mr. Potter, and he has that cloak of invisibility. The glamour is the cloak in it. When the wearer is wearing the cloak, he becomes what the glamour is. So for the cloak of invisibility, the glamour is invisibility, and when he wears the glamour, the cloak, he is invisible. So that can be literally applied to anything. It just depends on what you want to get into. And so I kind of jumped on here where I talked about you can change the way a person can see another person, like putting a glamour on another person. which this is me jumping around here in my notes, so excuse me for getting a little, crazy. But so let's see. So I'm jumping to putting a cloak or a glamour on another person. And so this way you can influence the way other people will see this person, because you're literally changing like the energy around them. You're changing their attitude and how other people perceive this person. So it's kind of just like the invisibility cloak. Just take the cloak and put it on someone else, like Ron, Hermione, Hagrid, Snape, Dumbledore. Like, you get the picture. So now this is where it starts to get long, but how do you, cast a glamour? So for those of you who do watch me frequently, you know the next line that I'm about to say. The possibilities are endless. So now I'm going to give 2 examples because, I don't want to get too crazy. For the eyes, this is the example that I had previously mentioned. For changing your eye color, honestly though, like, this also applies for like your astral body, I think. For those of you who astral travel, you do have an astral body, or like a spiritual body. You could totally change and manipulate your spiritual body. It is possible, and it's a topic I really want to get into with Eric Coetting. So, that's for later. But let's get into casting a glamour. So the easiest way, I think, would be to use a symbol. Like, think contacts. So like, I'm not saying go out and like buy contacts and cast your glamour onto them. No. Make your contacts out of energy. So like how I mentioned the cloak from Harry Potter, the cloak was the glamour. Use the contacts as the glamour, but not an actual contact. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope you guys get it. But let's see. So, and so when you put on these, energy glamoured contacts, it will cause your eyes and someone else's perception to see them as the color that you are desiring them to be. So anyway, so you create your contacts to be your glamour. The way that you want to do this is you want to, create the contacts. You want it to become a glamour. So you want to, really this is more things for focusation on, a meditation. So you want to, sit there and you really want to like make them, like really get intricate, and you really want them to be like, okay, well, I would need to include my pupil here, and you want to focus on the color and apply it to the lens, your color, and and you just want to, put in the detail in the eye. You want to picture the eyes that you want on this contact, so that way when you apply it to yourself, they look, the more thought, focus, energy, manipulation of energy that you put into this working of a glamour, the more realistic, the more powerful, and more potent that it's going to become as you're wearing it. So the more dedication that you put into your glamour, the more noticeable it will be to perceive through other people. So again, you're not physically changing your fucking eye color. Like, I don't want people being like, oh, she's throwing out bullshit. And I'm just like, oh God, no, I'm not throwing out bullshit. So yeah. So then I wanted to get into like casting glamours on other people, which is what I call it, throwing a glamour. So, when you want to throw a glamour, like I said, you're basically changing, the outside look to a person, I'd say, or you can, honestly, dude. Okay, so when you throw a glamour, you can either change the way an appearance of someone looks, their outside, their skin, or you can throw a glamour onto someone else and hide like their energy, their... Man, dude, this gets nuts. Okay, I'm sorry. I should start speaking in my head. So you throw a glamour, you can hide their energy, you can hide their presence, you can hide their spiritual abilities, like, if they have, like, telepathy, they're empathic, shit. Yeah, like all those, You know what I'm saying? I can't even list them off the top of my head. But yeah, you just throw a glamour. You can hide them, suppress them, manipulate them to be whatever you want them to be. Like if they can see spirits without being in the astral plane through meditation or in a working, you can always change it to have them wear some kind of like filtered lens, so that way what they see is like discolored or distorted. Oh, that would be a great curse. Oh my god. Oh, oh shit. I'm still doing a podcast. Okay, so see, I just love this topic so much. Okay, so for throwing the glamour, you honestly, I think you should create something like Harry Potter's cloak. Really, just do whatever you want, or you can have like this big mess of energy and like just throw it. Like literally, like since it's called like throwing a glamour, you can make this big mess of energy of what your glamour is, and throw it at the person and have it just cover them like a bucket of water. But I think using symbols in your workings help create more focus and individuality. It also helps promote this materialistic use of objects that, you know, it's a symbol. It has its purposes, but if you're not really a symbol user, that just, you know, you should do whatever. And eventually, you know, you'll create your own rhythm with what you like best, and that's exactly what you want. So yeah, you go ahead and you create this, and you want to do it the same way that you're doing the contacts idea. So you want to take your glamour and what you want your glamour to become, and you want to focus in on, you know, so you want to focus on this person. Okay, so picture the person in mind that you're going to throw this glamour on. Let's say I'll use my fiance for example. So my fiance, you know, he's a big guy, got, you know, short brown hair, got a beard, has some gray in it. Let's see, he's like really nice, but he's pretty introverted. You know, he's pretty helpful too, and he can be an ass, but then he's like a big ass redneck. So I don't mean like some like country redneck. I mean like some Alabama out there like drinking a 6-pack, like going mudding in a 4-wheel drive kind of redneck. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Like, all right. So let's see. Okay. So I was throwing my glamour on my boyfriend. What do I want to change? Let's see. If I was to change something, let's do his beard. So he has some gray in there. I actually love his gray hair. I love his gray hair actually, but he doesn't have an awful lot of it. So let's throw a glamour and let's change his hair. So now when you throw the glamour, so I focus on my boyfriend's like gray hair and his beard and his hair. So I want to focus in on that, and I want to, you know, look at like his picture and like notice me like visualizing seeing that his gray hair like disappear, that it returns to brown, or, you know, the mixed hair color that he has is like brown and some black in there. So I go in there and I visualize that this gray hair, this white hair is, you know, going back to brown. You know, that I could even like, you know, maybe give him an eye lift or something to help him look a little younger. So you go in there and you focus on changing the aspects that you wish, and then you take that and you take that thought of what you want changed, and you combine it, and, you know, you pattern it the way you wish. Like if I wanted it to be a comb, whatever, I go just a ball and just toss it at him, just throw it at him. So that's the glamour. And so then the point of the glamour is to have someone's perception look at him. So when they look at him, you know, they could clearly see that he has gray hair, but when they go back, they're just like, oh yeah, David looks kind of young or whatever. You know, that's the point of it, is that you're changing the perception that someone else sees. So yeah, that's basically just glamours. You're basically, I don't know how many times I said that, so I'm not going to say it again. You're changing the view of what someone else sees, but you're not changing the physical reality. So, that's really it for glamours. I mean, you know, you can get nuts into glamours, and glamours are really fun. But, you know, Hollywood is really, mediaize them. They've made them very, over dramatic in what they're not actually are. But yeah, so before, my last comment I'm gonna make on this is, before you think of something that seems undoable or crazy, there is always a way, but it might not be the way that you imagine. So when you go and you start researching and doing stuff like that, don't let someone tell you, no, you cannot do something, because you can always do something. There's always a way, okay? So yeah, just come to my podcast, come to my videos, and you'll know. So let's get into enchantments, people. So when it comes to enchanting objects, now you can enchant people, and I mean, like, you can, but that doesn't mean that you should. So let's just talk about enchantments. So enchantments are taking like a desired energy, like a specific aspect. So like, let's talk prosperity, because prosperity is pretty fucking simple. So let's say you want, well, I guess let's do prosperity in money. Okay, not prosperity in love or prosperity in food, just money. Let's just do prosperity in money, because it's the easiest. And I think a lot of people get that mixed up when they do spells, because they just say, oh, prosperity is just money. And it's like, nah, prosperity, you could be prosperous in anything. Like, I could be prosperous in bills. Like, prosperous does not always mean positive in a good financial way. So anyways, let me stop rambling. Okay, so let's talk about enchanting an object. So you're taking, what you're desiring, and you're placing it to an object to bring you something. So, I personally think your tools really, really matter here. So, like, for instance, I'm using prosperity. I'm going to use a ring as my vessel. And so this is really important, because your ring, I feel, needs to be more on the expensive side, especially if you're doing like something that deals with money. Because let's say you go out and you buy a quarter machine ring, and you cast your glamour on there, and it's just like, well, this ring was 25 cents, and I did my magic and stuff. And I mean, like, yeah, your magic can be great and whatnot, but I honestly think that the more like thought, effort, and money, I guess, you put into your tools is going to affect the outcome of your spell. But some people might disagree with me. But, that's really up to you. It depends on the practitioner there. You could probably get the same effects with using a cheaper piece of jewelry, but I think for better results for myself, I'd pick a more expensive ring. And that doesn't have to be crazy expensive, because you could go spend $20 on it. But, I'm not saying, but it's up to you guys. So anyway, so you get your vessel, and this could be a necklace or whatever, but I'm going to use a ring. So I also think that material should matter. So instead of getting like an aluminum ring, maybe you should get something like a little bit more profitable, like something silver or gold, but that's just my preference on the more expensive ring that you get. So I just kind of pull that into law of attraction there. So anyway, so you cast your intention on this object, and that object and the intention is prosperity. So what I like to do is cast what I want on the object, and then have it attract to me. So the way that you want to do this, so you cast your ring as being the energy, the thought form, the prosperity itself. And then you want to double cast and place an attraction spell onto it. So that way you're not only just saying that your ring is prosperity, that it is prosperous in itself, but you're also doubling it and saying that, okay, well, my ring is prosperous, and everything that is prosperous will attract not to your ring, but to yourself. So your ring brings forth this prosperity, this money and wealth. And that can be applied to different things when you're wanting to enchant things. So when you're wanting to enchant things, the point of enchantments is to bestow a purpose, a aspect, a energy, a type of feeling onto an object, and then it depends whether or not to you if you want that object to be, doubling back energy to you, if you want it to withdraw itself to you, because you can cast enchant objects that don't bring anything back to you. They are just enchanted. But that's really up to you guys. Another cool idea that just popped in my head right now was enchanting a mirror. And I think you could enchant a mirror or glamour your mirror, so that way when you look into it, you only see the things that you desire about yourself. I think that could help with someone who has problems with their image or some self-esteem issues. So that way when you look into your mirror, you're seeing the positive aspects about yourself and not the negative, where it's like, oh, I look in my mirror and I'm just like, damn, like my stomach just looks chunky. So that way when I look into my mirror, it doesn't look so chunky, I look slimmer. Really get crazy with it. Like, any idea that you really think of, you can go fucking nuts with it. Like, seriously. Like, I don't even know where else to go, because I can talk about 20,000 examples, and this little short episode would just be hours long. So that's really it for enchantments and glamours, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to give me some ideas for me and Eric to get into, and let me know what you guys thought about this video as well. If you guys want to discuss some more glamours or enchantments in the comments and stuff, let me know, and I will gladly talk about those with you guys. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next time, and we'll see you then.